Hello and welcome to PGMate Copilot demo. Today we try to create a school database to manage a school system with a pre-made prompt, one of the example prompts. Okay, so here we have the prompt. It creates a schema. It wants us to create students, classrooms, teachers, tests. Okay, and this was done on ChatGPT, on GPT-4o Mini. Let's run this. Okay, as we can see, it created my schema, and we can navigate it. We can go around, see what's up, but there's nothing inside. So let's go back in here and ask to seed. Let's see what happens. Okay, the first prompt was cached. This one is live, so it's gonna take a little bit more. Okay, it's gonna put some students, classrooms, teachers, tests, and students' tests. Let's see. Okay, this went through, so it executed. Let's go and explore. So now I have a couple of students. I have some classroom number. What is it? Let's see, classroom number. It's a text, so we can change it. That's fine. And then we have students that do tests. Okay, so even if I don't understand it, so let's see, can you give me the best student? Okay, so Jane Smith has an average score of 90. Okay, this is limit 1. So change it to ranking students from best to worst. Okay, that's fine. And now that I have a query that I like, I can simply ask to turn this into a view. Make a view. Let's see. Looks promising. Okay, we have students by rank. We have the student ID, first name, last name, average. Sweet. So far we've used only ChatGPT for O-Mini with the compact context. It's very little amount of information at this point in time. The full context, the compact one is about 230 tokens, around 900 tokens, the complete prompt. We haven't used it yet. And the cost for this whole interaction is about 100 of a dollar. So way below 1 cent, 1/10 of 1 cent. And we have been able to generate a full schema with relations, and we have been able to interrogate, run a little bit of business analytics, and to alter the schema, adding a view. Okay, now I want to understand it a little bit more. How are students? This is something that I didn't quite get. Okay, so there is no direct association. Okay, so it proposes to create a student classroom. Okay, but that is something we can do, but then how are tests and classroom? Let's see this. Of course I can navigate it, but there is not even direct association. So what is a test? A test is just a subject and a grade. So a test is not connected to a school. Okay, this was the initial example. Doesn't matter. We could go on and modify it. Now I want to go and take a look at a different thing. So this grade here, let's ask the student. So let's see what this yields. The student is likely populated. Okay, now it goes with it's likely because it doesn't know much Again, we are running with the compact context, and the compact context, if we go and search for the student, it gives the name, it gives the columns, a little bit of constraints, but nothing more. If we look at the very same table in the complete context, we see that there are all the data types for columns, but more than that, there are full constraints, there are foreign keys if needed, and and more. Okay, so let's try to run the same question again. Try again, but I want to try with GPT-O and the full context. Let's see if I have a different answer. It's not directly populated by any other process. Okay, the full schema at this point in time doesn't really know about functions or triggers. I don't know if it did create it. Okay, no, I see there are no function. So in this panel, database info, we can see the full information that we are retrieving. Not everything is passed down to the LLM so far. Okay, but with this, I've managed to understand that there is no real connection. So if we go back and look there you go. I could have done this simply. So the grade is simply added. Okay, so let's try to automate this. Okay, so we ask this, take the students. Okay, let's try this. We do it step by step. Perfect. So there is an alter table, drop column, add column, decimal. Fine. Now update that field. Okay, so this goes and updates it. So if we go to the students, now I start to have my grade, and I can go back to the Copilot and let's add an automation. Let's see. So I'm asking a pure business request in here, and it gives me a good function and a trigger back. Okay, it runs it only after insert. Okay, let's send to big and delete as well. Let's see. So what I did here is I've referred to the previous context, to the previous message. Okay, you can see here we have a given amount of messages that are sent into the model as history so far. The lowest the number, the cheaper the interaction, but the least the memory. Okay, so let's say it gives me an update average grade. And the trigger after the insert, and it recreates. Okay, that's a little bit too much. Let's challenge the model. Okay, and now I have what I want. Okay, even if I needed to challenge the model, it is still faster to use this approach rather than write all the information by myself. Okay, now we have the students. Let's take a student. So we got John Doe. Okay, now let's say Michael Brown. Michael Brown doesn't have any test. Find the ID of Michael Brown and add a test for him. Let's see. So here I'm asking a complex interaction. First name Michael, last name seems okay. Yep, it did. So now if I go into Michael Brown, no, this didn't work. So Michael Brown has no, okay, the average grade didn't really work. And I have here a line that is completely wrong. I see this. Okay, that's not good. That's the score that I've set. I don't like this. Let's go back. So first, this table looks like this table is not so good. Student and test ID should have external references, which they don't have. Okay, but there are the foreign keys. Okay, but they are nullable. Okay, that's really not good. So let's go in here, take the student test and take the foreign. Let's see what it does. Okay, let's try this. That that worked. Let's try again. So student ID, it's not null, not null. Okay, so we can go back into our query here. So now this is selecting selected it from school tests where okay, because there are the tests but there is no math. Okay, it's mathematics. So this is a classic situation where this doesn't really work. Let's run this again. Okay, student ID now violates. Okay, so it's good. We used the copilot to improve the data integrity. Now I can actually try this. Let's try. So let's go with the full pass the query. It doesn't find the problem. Like this. Try insensitive and that's such. Let's see. So this is we scaled up the model and we gave the full context. We also see that the price bumped up. So let's try this. No, this okay. It went full scale with vectorization. Let's go. I meant like let's try again. Okay, so we need to break this down. I can actually use this functionality and move into the SQL Studio and run this query one by one. So I can take this query here, see what's happening. Okay, let's select. Okay, auto completion is on the way. So we have Michael, because it's Michael. And now, okay, now this finds it. Okay, so we can fix this. And what about this query? Okay, now this works. So now this should work. Okay, we have the insert, we have the proper data. And if we will go back to students, now we have the automation that works. Okay, I think we can stop here for this first demo. So we started from an empty database, created a full schema with a one-shot prompt, a very simple one. We've modified the schema, we find out some flows, we added the data integrity request, we added the data automation, and we managed to move between Copilot and SQL Studio to figure out and dig a little bit into what's going on with queries that don't really do what we expect. We found a glitch in the research. The whole cost of this interaction, it's been slightly above 2 cents, 2.1 cents. So it's still extremely cheap, and we had to move across. We go with the GPT-4o Mini as default with the compact context, but we can move up and down. Okay, that's it. See you in the next demo.